actually includes all the minor regions as well. I'm not so sure about ELs, but whatever. He has played 4 times in professional play on this patch, 12-15, and he has not won a single game. So BJ on a mission to change that.
Yeah, I'm really... That said, I do like how it will synergize with his support and mid laner, and both of these teams sort of falling into that 5v5 sort of composition. GAM maybe not looking to scrap very early on unless he puts out an absolutely magnificent performance on Renata, which he is wont to do from time to time. But as the game goes on, GAM's, Victor, Varus, Aatrox, they're all going to scale quite well. Only really matched on the other side by that Gwen. So early game pressure for SGB, it's been their bread and butter, and they should have the edge in this game.
Yeah, what a difference in jungle matchups. We go from Pantheon Lee Sin, just early scrap, playmaking potential, just all out for plays, to Hecarim and Nocturne, so 2 farming champions for the most part. And a little bit of an early game bot lane scrap, as we expect, but this time actually with a better end to GAM. So Saigon Buffalo might have to change a little bit of the strategy coming into this game. This last game, they just put on the pressure in the bot lane again, invaded bot side jungle, but it seems like we just mirror the jungle pathing here. So no early action to be expected, in my opinion.
But it's heading towards the bot side though, so expecting perhaps Taki to try and make a move later on with a bit of assistance from BJ. Levi most likely going to just sit there to cover, but interesting. Looking to cross the road, it's a wraparound on
Victor doesn't have any counterplay to this. He might get knocked into the taunt. No, they don't quite sync that up, but Cardi had to burn the flash, and that's a very, very low-cost gank for BJ. But Froggy did flash as well, actually.
Slightly mistimed. This could have been such a good combo to actually get the kill here. They do blow 2 summoners, and Froggy should have a little bit of pressure in this mid lane matchup now, but in the end, in the 1v1, there's not going to be a solo kill for Galio into Victor, especially because Carti's Victor is one of his most comfortable champions. It's not really meta right now in other leagues. Only very few people actually play the Victor, but it is bread and butter for Carti, and he should still be fine even after being ganked. Level 6 could be another interesting attempt from BJ, but I don't really foresee another gank happening before that point in the game, so Carti gets away with his life from the first attempt.
I wouldn't expect much to come out towards that way until BJ is back up with his Ghost. Levi gonna just try and make the wave a little bit nicer for Carti perhaps. Though with the teleports back in, it might just in fact be a double scuttle angle instead. That's what it's gonna be, because with that time spent mid lane, BJ has to still do his Croaks. He's still cleaning up his jungle, and this gives Levi's power farming a little bit of a buffer for him to just pick up a couple of extra.
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of what Levi here just did here, because the enemy mid laner does not have TP. If you just spent a little bit of time, like half a minute, to shuffle the wave, you get a huge advantage for Carti. Now you just gave Froggy the free recall in trade for crap that he would have gotten anyway, so just really focusing on his own acceleration, not helping his mid laner too much, as he just walked past Froggy shoving the wave anyway. So, Levi needs to now show us that that's actually worth it with his first level 6 gank. And we all know Nocturne, the first ultimate, can decide quite a lot of the game. It should come up for potentially a little bit of synergy with Kiaya level 6 or even Carti level 6. So, potential for a flashless Froggy in the mid lane. Likely. Could be the gank target.
Look what's happening from under the tower. They're coming in onto Carti. They lock him up. They find the damage. Froggy lives. Oh, hang on. There was a flash into the mid lane. Levi got the kill.
1 for 1. Levi with a very, very good reaction. Just was there in time to get the counter kill. 5 minutes in. It's 1 for 1. We're not waiting for level 6. We make the ganks happen early. And this is what we know and love about these junglers. 2 farming junglers? Who cares? We gank before level 6.
Yeah, and that first blood going over to BJ will help him out a little bit, because he is falling a smidgen behind in the CS department, about 20 CS, and it's a nice wraparound gank, seeing the opportunity of Carti stepping out a little bit too far, but Froggy just takes too much, and Levi, flash Q, perfect. Can't even really blame the observers right now, because, top lane was a scrap.
Taken down. That's still a pre-6 Nocturne has been involved in 2 kills your way.
Yeah, and I'm coming in from the desk, right? And I have to praise Kiaya so much for his wave control in these first two games, as he has constantly been putting Hasmid in an overextension in the top lane, constantly freezing in a very safe position under his tower, and just forcing Hasmid to overextend. This has happened in game 1 as well. It's the exact same situation, and Kiaya manages to do this with Aatrox. Aatrox permashoves, just using his Q to last hit. So this is really impressive from Kiaya. He's also almost even in CS, even though he's getting pushed in. So this is just another final where Kiaya usually in finals actually doesn't look quite as good as in regular season, but this time he seems to have just swapped it around. Playoffs Kiaya is a whole different beast this season compared to regular season Kiaya.
Probably the way you actually wanted to land. Because, yeah, I mean, it was still good enough to get the community's first All-Pro team in this regular season. So, and that was off a really rough start of the split. So this guy's good. He's a really good top laner. We've been singing his praises for years. And with all this kerfuffle going around the mid jungle and a little bit into the top lane, bot lane's just hanging out. Kallista's got a 3 CS lead. Everyone's doing fine. No, nothing really happening down here, and slowly scaling up and waiting to get to that Rift Herald where they're gonna be called up and get involved.
Yeah, that's very promising for the side of GAM. So far, in almost every single game they've played against Saigon Buffalo in the playoffs, bot lane was on the losing position. This time they actually even. Renata picked away, or actually Taki gave it away. Taki could have picked a very strong Renata again. Instead went for the combo play, the engage option, instead of the disengage option on the Mumu. But this also gives the Renata over, and Renata Varus has so much damage, so much CC between the two of them, so they're just able to contend with Shogun and Taki, the best bot lane so far in playoffs. And as you teased, okay, BJ just wanted to go for a little bit of a jump there in the jungle.
Go up, you go downy. But he is moving in onto Kiaya. The wings come out. Do they have the lockdown? Absolutely not. He just flies away.
They do force his ultimate though, and that is on a decently long cooldown. So if Saigon Buffalo manages to create a situation with Taki into the top side to go for the first objective, yeah, it just looks like it's a cross-map trade. GAM has accepted the top side pressure from Saigon Buffalo side, and they're just going to go for the first dragon. Decent macro decision here for GAM to not overextend once again into the first fight into Kalista and Hecarim and all the AoE.
We mentioned it a little bit. They're kind of scaling up. Cardi is getting a little bit towards his Glorious Revolution with that 1 assist, but not really feeling confident to fight right now. Base damage is on BJ Froggy just a bit too much right now, so just gonna trade off. An early Mountain Drake will do them wonders, and an Ocean Drake next up. That's one you can kind of give away. It's, as an individual Drake, it's not very good, especially coming into the mid portion of the mid game. So interested to see if GAM continue to prioritize that. In theory, perhaps they should for the just for the stacking, but early Mountain Drake will help a lot against BJ.
So there is a little bit of a problem with the dragon stacking. If you're looking at it from Saigon Buffalo's perspective, they've actually given up a lot of early dragons to GAM, and this kind of just bangs on the fact that you can accelerate the early game and just snowball the games cleanly, right? But if you actually fall down to a fight, then suddenly giving up early dragons comes back to bite you. And last game, GAM got to that soul point pretty easily because Saigon Buffalo prioritized the other side of the map. It's not bad play, it's just a very specific look at the game, and Saigon Buffalo might have to reconsider a little bit of that against GAM, because they have to be clean enough to actually execute on this early game snowball, as we have in 1-1 attempted in top lane.
Yeah, Hasmed doesn't land the last proc of that ultimate, forces Kiaya back, but with Levi in range, I don't think he's going to stay away, and now Hasmed could get baited forward. There it is. Paranoia coming out. Hasmed, he's moving as fast as he can, but his little legs will get broken. And now 2 games in a row your way. Hasmed looking like a liability.
Yeah, it's too easy for the GAM top side. It's just too easy to get these kills, and Hasmed, he was really far behind on the Aatrox. The Aatrox seems to be seriously finding so far, but we have a mid lane attempted again.
Yep, Carty under attack. There's a Galio ult to lock it down. And Froggy will get himself a kill.
What you gonna do? There's nothing you can do. It's about Carty. You sort of had to predict it was on that side and then just walk off towards Raptors, but it's just gonna be a quick pick up some plates for Froggy. That's gonna be a nice gold injection for the side of Buffalo, but it's not a lead. That is not a lead, so it's still going to be just completely undermined by the gank into the top side, by the dragon, and GAM's still sitting quite pretty, waiting for the next team fight around a dragon or a second Rift Tower in 3 minutes.
Let's look at this again. I mean, there's absolutely nothing Carty can do. He doesn't have flash. That's 3 people coming with the ultimates, very ready to commit everything they have under their belts. And there's really nothing you can say. Carty tried to play it as best as he could. I think his ultimate might have been applied a little bit later for a counter kill, but honestly, I don't think there was much he could have done. Husmed is under pressure again. Is he going to be baited again? No, Husmed.
Husmed, you've got to start reading these plays. At some point, it's your fault, man.
Yeah, he definitely felt he could win that one, but his Ignite was down. He didn't even use his ultimate, and Levi still has access to that paranoia, and this is a completely different Levi than what we saw in the upper bracket finals. He is so active. He has been to every finals. He's won 5 of them, and he wants that 6. He is the king of Vietnam for a goddamn reason, and now he is showing us that reason right now. It's a good trade for Husmed, though. I can see why.
Husmed definitely could have won the 1v1, but he needs to be more aware of what his team is doing with him. BJ even wastes his ghost, and as Husmed probably screams in their comms to help him, he's abandoned in the top lane, but he should be able to just farm it out. He's on a late game scaling champion, doesn't need to go for these 1v1s, especially without his flash, without ghost. He went for the aggressive option of the ignite, and it's really coming back to bite him. So top side for GAM dominating. This is such a cool point. Oh, here we go again.
Another crack at Carty. Camp on camp on camp. Levi throws himself in. Might be immediately regretting it as he gets popped up. B arriving with a flash ultimate to divide SGB. Will save him for now.
He's so far ahead. He doesn't take damage.
It's just a tale of 2 camps. It's very fun to watch this game where SGB is just putting up everything they're just looking at mid lane and getting Carty over and over again, while the same is happening for GAM in the top lane. And Carty even saw BJ, but he was so sure of Levi's assistance, and he didn't see the support coming from bot side. And then this is why Amumu in the early game can do a little bit more than Renata maybe. His stuns are more instant. His CC is just a little bit better in terms of individual lockdown, especially early on in the game. But we might have a situation on our hands.
I think we do, as GAM are on the Baron. Froggy is very caught out. He has to flash an E away, and that actually just stops SGB going for this dragon.
Kill on Carty means a whole lot of nothing because he had that teleport available. Picks up that dragon nice and fine, and still waiting for that big fight to come off through. But now with that top lane pressure going fully for Kiaya, this should be a fairly easy convert into a second Rift Tower and just objective after objective for GAM. Unless they want to try and make something here. Paranoia just about to come up. Can B get something started? He doesn't have flash, but and they don't even have chains. Oh, never mind.
Yep. Yeah, they do have that Q coming in as Shogun desperately trying to get away, has the shield bow. Levi lives because of that resolve tree from B. The Guardian procs saves the jungler, and GAM get 2.
Levi is here to play. He wants that 6th shield in his collection. He's still 1 behind Slay. He has made so many finals, 7 in a row now with this iteration of his team. The Levi Kiaya dynasty has truly been the defining thing in the VCS, but he is here to play after a disappointing first match against BJ and SGB in the upper bracket final. What a performance so far from Levi. So risky as well, but he gets bailed out, not quite literally, because the bail was actually on style, but still bailed out by the side of B with the extra shields provided. So that's another good double kill for GAM, and they are off to a 1k gold lead in the mid game.
Harold does go down in trade, but it was actually delayed a fair amount because just before the replay we saw Kiaya sort of pop his head down and scare BJ back a little bit. But they're going to have the second Rift Herald. They can easily break open that mid lane tower and maybe give themselves a little bit more pressure that they need to try and find good flank angles for BJ on this Hecarim to wrap around, pick off Style, who is slowly farming up. I mean, they bullied Cardi to high heaven, but maybe they need to shift their attention elsewhere because the rest of the map is going A-okay for GAM, and they're going to kill Hotspot again.
They're going for it once more. Kiaya brings down the sword, whips him with the Gore Drinker, and I mean, at this point he's a cannon minion, so why not keep going to farm him?
Playing so differently compared to their matchup in the upper bracket where Kiaya and Husband basically just laned for, I don't know, combined 2 hours and nothing ever happened. But there's a clear identification for GAM's side that this is what they want to play through, at least in this game. Very easily understandable. First game, they gave the Aatrox away and Husband got focused down. Now this time they get the Aatrox themselves. Aatrox was one of the most important champions in draft, in my opinion, coming into this series. They teased the Fiora. That is the answer in the LPL for against Aatrox, and one of the reasons it's not actually blind pickable over there. We haven't seen it over in the VCS, as we might just get the first tower for Saigon Buffalo in the mid lane. That's a decent little objective. But yeah, Husband needs to find something to actually stand up to Kiaya, not die so much.
Yeah, absolutely does. Yeah, Shogun needs to be careful. Has Froggy coming in. The Renata ult will do a whole lot of nothing. BJ coming in at incredibly high speeds. Style going low, but they can't convert. Not with Kiaya's TP. That's going to be a tower picked up for GAM. SGB forced off the play.
Still available, so gonna be looking to drop that down someplace. Husband's gonna finally get some time alone into the top side. Maybe he can pick up a tower in response, get some local gold back, and get this Gwen to a point where she's relevant. Kiaya might cut off Froggy.
Froggy just gets caught out. He's got no counterplay. Kiaya gets another one. And Levi, sorry, I meant to say your way. You are not Levi. I wish you were. But regardless,
I want to play with Levi.
My mistake. Your way. We've been in the VCS a long time. And for a long time, who's our favorite player, Bid?
Kiaya!
Kiaya! Isn't it good to see this man popping off in a final?
Oh yeah, and actually it's quite different from the last time these two teams met in the final in spring, where GAM actually won 3-1 and looked rather dominant. After 14-0 regular season, that was to be expected. But Kiaya had a little bit of a stinker of a final, and this has actually happened a few times. His final win rate is not the greatest. Levi and Kiaya together, 7 finals in a row, but only won 3 of them so far. 3-3 record. Lost against Flash twice, actually against Kati, funnily enough. And then they also lost against Cerberus in winter. So their finals record in itself is not actually that impressive, and a lot of that actually comes down to Kiaya not looking the greatest in finals a few times now, but today is different. 4-0 on this Aatrox, and he is out for blood again.
Yeah, he's on top of Froggy. Froggy just doesn't do damage to him, so this is going to mean they engage. On the other side of the fight, Levi gets shut down immediately, but they trade it for Shogun. They'll take that one. Husband as well. He'll go down. BJ low. Kiaya absolutely resplendent in the front line as Style picks up a double kill. Froggy goes golden, but the only Oscar he's winning is trying to pretend they have a chance in this game. As the mid lane tower falls and GAM are looking absolutely murderous.
Okay. Yeah, absolute. Levi dies, silver linings. Got a big shutdown. As we just see here, he's in the middle of 3. GAM can't really quite get to him, and Shogun's going to pick up a big shutdown, but he's killed immediately. The great hostile takeover to cut off the wraparound as well from the top side of the map. And then Kiaya has just been on the bot side this entire time, dealing with Froggy, being a menace. They pick up the tower. They don't quite get the second, but they get the soul point, and that's more than enough.
And it is an absolute stomp. Honestly, we have to say it. GAM is coming in after losing the series to Saigon Buffalo 2-3 in the upper bracket final. They're coming into this final with different preparation. They came in with the Varus. They also changed up some of their play priority in-game, not so much in draft. And it's working so well today against Saigon Buffalo. Honestly, Saigon Buffalo almost looks subdued, not able to find any plays. Froggy so far pretty silent in both of these games, not a lot of roams. Hasmid, yeah, we've talked about him a bunch. He was 8-32 before the split against GAM. Against Kiaya, a really bad record for him personally. The rest of his team a little bit better, but it seems like we're back to GAM dominance so far in these 2 games. They have just ran away with the series, especially now in Game 2, and Saigon Buffalo needs to find something to work for them. They need to find something to reset their mental. They usually are a very good team at coming back from deficits, but it's a final situation. It's different. They've lost so many finals to GAM. They came in with a lot of hope today, and now they're looking at an 0-2 early on in the series.
Groups stage might already be calling to GAM, but BJ wants to try and turn it around. They're on top of Style. The CC train is rolling. It's a huge Galio ult, but Style lives for so much longer, and now God is here. Kiaya enters the fray. Husband will pick up one, but it's turned around with Levi getting another, and there are no health bars left for the Buffalo as they get wiped out. Kiaya has not taken a scratch.
What? It's just the wallet diff. They tried everything. Saigon Buffalo finally finds a good engage. BJ is able to isolate the enemy ADC, but you could even see the fight would go badly by how long Style was able to just stay alive. He tanked everything. He tanked BJ's ultimate, he tanked Taki's ultimate, he tanked Froggy's ultimate. He was still alive afterwards. They finally cut him down after the bailout, but it's just not enough. They don't have the damage to go through the rest of them.
Check out this ultimate from B. It picks up 3 of them because Gwen is immune, but it keeps them in place. It makes it take so long to kill Style, and that gives the God King, Kiaya, time to arrive and just wreak havoc. It's a menace. It's a nightmare, and there's nothing that they can do. Froggy gets a big ultimate, but it means nothing.
Yeah, now we're looking at a state in the game where hope has almost run out for the side of Saigon Buffalo. They do have a little bit of combo potential, maybe in the next Dragon fight. They need to contest that in 2 minutes. That's Hextech Soul. You definitely don't want to fight against Hextech Soul on top of that big of a gold advantage. So it's probably the last chance saloon over there. If they can create a winning play, maybe isolate Victor, they might have a second win this game, but I can't really see it right now.
I think they'll need a second, a third, and a fourth wind, because I was told that the Emperor had already been knocked out. But looking at this, it might be the time of the 3 kings, as Kiaya, Levi, and Style are all fed out of their minds. BJ very deep. Yeah, they're going to just take a fight on the other side, but it might not go well, as there's a movement with the middle team. Does land a lot of CC, but there is no damage landing onto GAM. Cardi falls down, but he's the least important target. It's this man with the wings. The heraldry is out, and the Aatrox is 1v3. He does not care. He goes low. Finally, they take him down. The world has been saved from the Darkened Wrath. And it's a 3-for-3, and that's a win for SGB.
As good as you can ever hope for. Levi felt like he was out of it, but they just delete Cardi instantly. Kiaya cannot quite chase down Shogun. In the end, it's a wash. Nothing to be taken, nothing to be won, but an even trade is a damn good trade when you're this far down. And we just see how it starts off. GAM is just in a rough position with a great ultimate from Taki, and the response is not nearly enough as the double knockup as well.
This is how they envisioned their team composition to work. You can definitely see the potential. If this was an even game, I think GAM would have been wiped at this point already, but Kiaya is just so tanky. Shogun with heroics, dodging everything. This is some of the best kiting I've ever seen. He gets a 900 gold shutdown, plus another 170 gold from his rune, so he might be accelerated to another item as Saigon Buffalo is calling
Hail Mary play. Hail Mary.
Ultimates aren't quite up.
Yeah, this
There it
is
is.
dangerous. In goes the paranoia. They're on top of the Callista.
He's
She's been
dead.
removed from the fight. It's a disaster. It is a massacre. The rivers run red as GAM clean up 4.
And that might just be the end of the game as GAM find the team fight. Saigon Buffalo too elated. They wanted to go for the Baron, for the trade against the Soul on the other side, but GAM called them out. They just pick the team fight, and of course they still win the team fight. You pointed out the ultimates; they were still up, no chance whatsoever. Shogun didn't have the flash ready, didn't have the he tried to cleanse actually, but it was just not enough. Now GAM gets everything.
Everything, Baron and Soul, and once again the ult's just not quite there, but GAM's come up just that little bit faster, and so just Chains of Corruption, Paranoia, the hostile takeover. It's a wombo combo that they get, and there's no chance. No Curse of the Sad Mummy, no Fate's Call. They cannot put it together, and they don't even get the Constellation style because of Bailout. So, just at this point, 10,000 gold, Baron, Soul. This must be insurmountable for SGB without huge disaster coming on from the side of GAM's actions.
And your way. We came into this series thinking we may be able to enter a new age of the VCS. A new dynasty may rise. But it turns out this empire is not going out without a fight as GAM are dominating. They're looking to move to a 2-0 lead. They're not there yet. But this game is dire, as Marby outlined. Your way. Do they have it? Like, how are they doing this? This team has been dominant for so long.
Yeah, it's reinventing themselves, right? 7 finals in a row, and they have lost some of those. They've lost actually all of those finals against better team fighting teams. So what did they do? As I pointed out at the start of the show, they have improved their team fighting. They've changed their style, and here we go again with the team fight.
Team fights, they're going to have another crack. Comes the horse from the back. The bailout might buy enough time. It resets style. Oh, it's a disaster because Ki has not been scratched. And once again, 4 members of Buffalo have been removed. This horse has run off to the glue factory, and GAM move to a 2-0. They are 1 game away from the Shield. They are 1 game away from Groups at Worlds, and they are 1 game away from showing these upstart Buffalo who the kings